Welcome to Money Majlis, the podcast where finance, innovation, and impact converge. I'm your host, Suvo Sarkar. In every episode, we explore the ideas and people shaping the future of money, from digital ecosystems to how purpose drives experience. And today's guest leads one of the most ambitious loyalty programs in the world. But before I introduce my guest, I'm really happy to announce that you can now listen to any or all of the past Money Majlis podcasts on my brand new website, www.moneymajlis.com. That's moneymajlis.com. Please visit the website, search by topic, and if you want, download additional research resources for every episode. The website is a treasure trove of knowledge, wisdom, and insights from all my past guests, over 40 of them. And it has a link to my social impact initiative powered by Good World, where you can redeem your free $50 gift card for a charity of your choice. Okay, back to today's episode. Today's guest, Dr. Nejib Ben-Khedher, is the Divisional Senior Vice President of Emirates Skywards. Over a career spanning 3 decades and 3 continents, he has reimagined loyalty at the intersection of data, design, and delight, taking Skywards from frequent flyer program to lifestyle ecosystem. In this episode, we explore how Skywards crossed 30 million members, why partnerships are now the new product, and what loyalty might look like in a world where AI, travel, financial ecosystems, and values converge. And as always, through our Money Majlis gift card, this episode powers causes that matter. Because loyalty, after all, begins with giving. But first, a message from our sponsors.
Money Majlis is proudly supported by Aqua Now, the premier crypto-as-a-service provider, now building in partnership with the top financial institutions in the Middle East. Discover more at aquanow.com.
Money Majlis is brought to you by E&, a global technology group.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Intellect Design Arena, driving digital adoption in banking and insurance.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Live Digital Bank, powered by Emirates NBD. Trust and innovation combined.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Network International, the leading digital payments technology company in the Middle East and Africa.
In Money Majlis today, my guest is Dr. Nejib Ben-Khedher, Divisional Senior Vice President of Emirates Skywards. With nearly 35 years of experience in the global airline and travel industry, Dr. Ben-Khedher has held executive roles at Travelocity in North America and Sabre Holdings worldwide. He began his career with the pioneering team at American Airlines Decision Technologies. Since joining Emirates Group in 2012, Nejib has led major business and technology transformations, including serving as Deputy CIO, Senior Vice President of Business Technology, and Chief Technology Officer of Emirates Group. Since 2015, Nejib has been at the helm of Emirates Skywards, transforming it in the last 10 years from a frequent flyer program into a comprehensive lifestyle loyalty platform that now serves over 30 million members. Nejib's leadership is marked by industry-first innovations, a strong focus on business transformation, and a commitment to diversity and empowerment within his teams. Nejib holds a PhD in Industrial and Operational Engineering from the University of Michigan, as well as master's degrees in robotics, information technology, and air transportation from leading French engineering schools in Toulouse. Nejib, that's a lot of degrees. What inspired you to study so hard?
Thanks, Suvo, for inviting me to Money Majlis. Yes, there's logic to the madness here. Actually, the common thread is somewhat aviation. So I had truly some passion around aviation. That's what led me to the engineering school to start with. But as I got into aviation, robotics came of interest to me simply because at the time, we're talking here, in the early 80s, we were starting to put a lot of robotics into airplanes as well. So I got into robotics. Robotics led me to operations research and optimization techniques and stochastic modeling. And this is how I got to do my PhD in operations research. And operations research at the time, when I joined American Airlines, was a hot topic within airlines as well. They were the biggest consumer of operations research at the time. And this is how I came back to the airline industry and to aviation in some way. So it's a full circle.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now, congratulations. You just crossed 30 million members in Skywards, with UK, US, and UAE as your largest markets. Tell me, Nejib, what are the key drivers behind this rapid growth? And I always wondered how you tailor this program for such a diverse global membership. I mean, you operate across 180 countries, right? Yeah. How do you keep the experience consistent and relevant while also respecting local needs and preferences?
Yeah, that's a good point. We actually crossed 35 million. So, and we're onboarding about 7 new members every minute.
Wow.
So the rate of growth has been in double digits. It's actually triple the growth that we see on the airline side in terms of passengers. Couple of things. One, we work for an airline that has a very strong brand and acts as a magnet in itself for people. We're also in Dubai, which is, again, has a global appeal as well. So the combination of Dubai and Emirates in itself makes it natural for people to gravitate around us as a loyalty program. But to your point, I think, and you've mentioned it earlier in the introductions, the fact that the program has moved from just being a frequent flyer program catering, to those top frequent flyers into a lifestyle program catering to everybody, has also helped us, make it more attractive for people, even those who are only flying with us once a year or once every other year. So that also helped with the appeal. You mentioned 180 countries. And like some of the other programs that focus mostly on their domestic markets, our largest base is actually outside our domestic market in the UAE. So UK, US are our largest member bases, followed by the UAE, India, and Australia, and followed by Germany. So you see we operate in multiple continents. That allows us to attract members from all over the world as well. So that helped with the growth, as I mentioned. The opportunity is there for us to continue to grow, but we have this complexity that other programs don't have, and that we need to cater, as you mentioned, to a global audience. So I call our strategy a global strategy. It has to be global with local relevance. So and the only way for us to do it, on top of the airline, and which I should say the airlines, since we are also the loyalty program of Fly Dubai, that the airlines are global by nature. So we have something to provide to members all over the world. But partners allows us to expand that ecosystem and to be able to be relevant locally. So whether airline partners across all the continents, we have partners. We have more than 20 airline partners across all these continents. Very strategic one. We're not in an alliance per se, but we have created those strategic partnerships with airlines all over the world to help us extend our value proposition to members who are located outside our domestic markets, but also non-air partners, lifestyle partners in general, and the travel, hospitality, but lifestyle in general as well. So we're continue to be relevant to members as well. I mean, our frequent flyer represent our top 2% of the member base.
Oh, really?
So we have a long tail of members that are infrequent and with whom we engage more frequently through the partner ecosystem.
So Nejib, it must be quite challenging for you to compete with different airline programs, loyalty programs in those 180 markets, right? Because each market have their own national airline and other airlines who might be doing their own loyalty programs domestically. And you are actually competing against each of those, right?
Absolutely.
So that must be a complex job.
Yes.
Yeah. And despite that, you won the Global Loyalty Program of the Year, Middle East, and the Best Frequent Flyer Program in major industry awards in 2024 and 25. My question to you, Nejib, is what do you believe sets Skywards apart from other leading airline programs like American Air Advantage, Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer, or British Airways Executive Club? What do you do differently?
First of all, we owe a lot of gratitude to American Airlines, my former employer. I started with for starting, frequent flyer programs in the mid '80s. And you've mentioned, other airlines, international airlines. We share a lot with what KrisFlyer in Singapore is doing in terms of what they're doing in the lifestyle side. And then, if you talk about Avios, for example, with BA, they have really developed a very strong currency as well. So I would just say every airline has its own context, has its own, I think, value proposition to offer to its member base. And a lot of them focus, as I mentioned, on their domestic markets per se. We have this, we focus to a much broader segment across. We're also, for as I said, the airline does the work for us sometimes, somewhat, right? Because it's the experience that Emirates deliver that bring people back to us and create that loyalty. Talk loyalty is not a transactional game, and this is again one of the traits of Skywards is we work a lot on the emotion much more than on the transaction. Of course, we have a very strong currency in Skywards Miles. But it's also about creating those experiences that bring people back. So whether it is experiencing when things go well, as in when you're traveling, across your whole journey from check-in to on board, to getting your baggage, etc. We ensure that those experiences ensure, as in the airline ensures, that these experiences are delivered in the best way possible. But we're also, through the Skywards filter, help all our touch points to be able to recognize our members. And I would say loyalty is won or lost, not just when you're rewarding people for traveling, but when you're recovering from issues that you have.
Absolutely.
And the focus that we have from an airline perspective on recovery is very important, and especially for Skywards members. So Skywards members feel that they can trust the airline, that in hard times, they're well taken care of. And that's what, again, brings people to fly back with you.
Nejib, you've been head of Skywards since 2015, so 10 years. In the last decade, what do you think has changed about customer loyalty in general?
Well, you talked about it being extremely competitive world out there. So, a lot of the younger population or younger audiences become very fickle and not extremely loyal, and you have to find ways to capture their attention as well. So, things like gamification coming into play. Just to engage with that whole audience. Things have changed, but things have stayed the same as well. And sometimes we think of ourselves as an old-fashioned loyalty program in some way, where we're trying to stay simple in the way we do things, not complicated, offer choice to members, and engage with them in the digital channels in the most effective way possible. So maybe the one thing that has changed is the expectations that you would treat people in a more personalized way. And be much more relevant in the way you communicate with them. People are just overwhelmed with the communication they're getting. So we focus, especially from a Skywards perspective, on that communication. And we only have few chances for us to communicate well with members. So, for example, what we've done around personalizing our member statements. So when we're sending that monthly statement, which a lot of people don't engage with, now we have multiplied by 3 the click-through and the open rate, which shows you the level of engagement by simply personalizing those member statements, understanding who you are, which partners you have interacted with, and basically putting in there things that are of interest to you. Though that's, I would just say, it's not hyper-personalization, but it is relevance in some way that helps. So I think that's one of the things that have changed. But from a Skywards perspective, we continue to listen and to look at what is being done around us, and not simply by airlines, but by others as well. Loyalty programs have been created by the airlines, as you mentioned, with American Airlines.
Correct.
But now they have been mastered by others in the retail industry and others. So we're learning from these. And I would just say, because you mentioned that we're award winning, yes, we won actually 9 awards in the last 12 months.
Wow.
3 of these awards were not in the travel travel and airline category. It was across industries. And we take pride in actually becoming a loyalty program that wins awards across categories and not in one category, competing with financial institutions, competing with retailers, etc.
So beyond air travel.
Beyond an air travel. And that's, again, I think speaks to the fact that we have moved away from being a frequent flyer program into becoming more of a lifestyle. So we actually compete in these categories as well.
Well done. I'm talking of lifestyle. You now offer partnerships with about 400 brands and lifestyle experiences.
Yeah.
How has the shift from being a pure airline loyalty impacted member engagement and program profitability for you?
Yeah, so it's a good point, and I mentioned it earlier in terms of acquisition as well. The fact that we have this broad partner ecosystem, we cater to all the infrequent travelers as well. And we've democratized the program, whereby on both the earn and the burn side. So on the earn side is again through partners. We've allowed people to just earn miles on other things than flying. 50% of the miles that are earned today are earned outside air.
Really?
Yeah. So on retail, lifestyle, travel partnerships as well. So that is a big move from where we were 10 years ago. So again, 50% are earned outside. The 400 brands that you have mentioned are actually on one platform that we have today, which is Skywards Every. And that's the 400 brands we have here in the UAE through Skywards Every. And again, truly a seamless experience. You go to Skywards Every. You link your credit cards. These could be co-brand or non-co-brand cards. And all you have to do is walk into a coffee shop that is one of the partners, and you're earning miles seamlessly. You don't have to do anything. It's all card linking technology that sits behind. Yeah. We have also things like Skywards Miles Mall with another, hundreds of brands as well, from an earn burn, including Amazon, for example, here in the UAE, but also in other regions of the world, in Australia, in the US, in the UK, and in India. We also have Skywards Miles Mall, interacting mostly with e-commerce players as well, or e-commerce retailers as well. So what it did is, as I mentioned, more democratizing the earn much more than what we had before, where you really the program was catering mostly to only to the frequent flyers. But we also democratized the burn as well, where from the first mile you earn, you can redeem using, for example, Cash+Miles on flights. And a lot of the people who don't have who have less than 10,000 miles and cannot access an upgrade or a classic redemptions can use a Cash+Mile to redeem from the first mile they earn. So that democratization has helped. But the partners have helped a lot with democratizing the earn and with the daily engagement that I have mentioned. Today, Suvo, we do 100,000 earn transactions a day. 100,000.
This is across the world?
Across the world. It's 100,000 transactions. That tells you, this is, and 60% of these are actually non-flights related.
So these are earned transactions?
Earned transactions.
And how many burn transactions would there be?
So we do 110,000 miles are burned every minute.
Every minute?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And 40% of them go for upgrades. So for people who are just saying there are not enough upgrades, I can tell you we do one upgrade a minute. Upgrade a minute.
I'll come to that later.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a pain point for a lot of people.
For sure. But coming back to the ecosystem, this is the ecosystem actually at play, right? You're combining different experiences into one loyalty program. It's not ecosystem that's a buzzword in strategy decks, but it's really at play, which is very impressive. So congratulations on that. Let me turn to partnerships now, Nejib. You form partnerships with over 100 financial institutions globally, is that right? About 100?
Yeah.
Globally?
These are not co-brand credit cards. These are all your banks, financial partnerships. We work through platforms like Ascenda, for example, where we reach a number of banks also all over the world.
That's a large number. And I was involved, Nejib, as you probably know, in the launch of the Emirates NBD Skywards card, co-brand card, way back in 2009-10, before you'd taken over as head of Skywards. It was actually the second Skywards co-brand in the country.
After Citi, yes.
After Citibank. And in 15 years, it has now emerged as the largest Skywards co-brand in the UAE. So I'm very proud of the launch we did. And I think it's done very well for both Emirates NBD and Skywards. Today, you have at least 5 credit card co-brand partnerships in the UAE. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, this is unlike in the US, Nejib, where an airline like Delta or American Airlines has only one co-brand card partner, not multiple. So my question to you is, would you rather have multiple co-brands with banks than one big one? Is that your strategy? And how does that benefit you?
So first of all, there is a difference between how we approach our home market here. We're well established versus an extremely competitive market like what you mentioned, the US, where we have only one co-brand with Barclays.
Yeah.
Or India, where we have one co-brand with ICICI. Saudi, we have it with Saudi Awal Bank, at Ahli Bank in Kuwait. So we have co-brands in a number of key markets. And we only focus maybe on one partner to work with and to try to optimize that as much as possible. First, before maybe, contemplating even a second co-brand. Here, it's a bit different. Where we think the 5 banks we have cater to different segments. Yes, there is overlap, obviously, between these banks. But we're looking at optimizing the product and, allowing all these products there's 12 co-brand products out of the 5 banks that is available in the market that, we focus on working with our co-brand partners in terms of, putting the best product out there, but allowing the product to compete with each other as well. There is room for us here in the UAE to do it, whether we're going to go with more banks or not. That will be based on whether we have tapped or untapped all the segments or not. So it's something, by the way, that our relationship with Visa as of late helped us also look and have a better look at the market and trying to rationalize what we do there as well. So it's different strategies. It's one that has worked with us for us here in the UAE. Emirates NBD, by the way, continues to be one of the highest growth for us, despite for us, getting more banks into the kitty. In your time it was only 2, but we've added more, and we haven't lost any ground. I mean, we've from a co-brand credit card perspective, just last year we again have grown by double digit despite 2 of the banks being terminated in our program. So it just means that there is an appetite for co-brand cards, travel co-brand cards, and this is despite also a flurry of co-brands that you have seen in the market as of late. A lot of loyalty programs, but also a lot of retailers, etc., have launched. So it is a very, I would just say, crowded market. You can think of it. But we're very happy to see that the Skywards brand carries some weight, and we continue to grow our co-brand member base.
Absolutely, and I can testify to the fact that the average spend on a Skywards co-brand is higher than all of the cards in the market.
That's why a lot of the banks wants us to be part of their portfolio.
It's also acquisition, ease of acquisition, right? I mean, you don't get to stand in front of a first-class flyer or a business class flyer every day as a bank, but through Skywards, you have the opportunity to do that, and therefore banks like this variant of a card. No, I think it's
so. If you allow me, 75% of our elite members have a co-brand credit cards, which shows you there's also this overlap between the fact that you're engaged with the brand, but you're engaged with the bank as well, and that the bank sees value also, because these are also your affluent travelers and usually affluent spenders as well. So
correct. So are you saying there's a 25% opportunity available still
for the banks? Saying, absolutely, for
Wonderful.
us to go tap it. So probably, who knows, another product in the market could attract those 25% that we don't have as part of the.
Wonderful. So all the credit card heads who are listening to this podcast should rush out and launch a Skywards co-brand if they haven't done already.
Or look within the existing banks at other products as well.
Absolutely.
There is potential for us to work on certain segments. Especially Dubai is becoming more and more attractive to a lot of people, and we have a lot of people settling here now in Dubai.
Yeah.
So it's for us, there is a segment that's coming to town that we need to be capturing as well.
I guess the UAE is quite a unique market in many respects because 90% of the population are expatriates. And by definition, they travel home once or twice a year, or it's a business hub. People travel on business all the time to the region or outside in the world. Unlike most markets, the percentage of people traveling is probably the highest in the world, which is why I think you have success in co-brands.
Absolutely.
With airlines.
Yeah.
Coming back to the point you mentioned about data, airline loyalty programs have access to some of the richest data sets for customers, right? From booking history to seat preferences to travel patterns to even food selection, right? How do you translate that, Nejib, that kind of data into everyday personalization? Do you use this data to your best advantage as Skywards?
Yes, and more. I think, of course, and we have to continue to be very ethical around the use of data and be trusted by our members. Loyalty is lost again if you lose the trust of your members. So protecting our member data is our priority and continues to be our priority. The Skywards data is even richer than what you just enumerated there in terms of data that we have that is flight-related data. So we have also this lifestyle data that we just talked about. Through Skywards Every Day, we know also where you shop, which coffee shop you like most, etc. So there is the data gets richer for us to be able to engage with our members both on the air side but also on the lifestyle side in the most personalized way possible. Maybe I give a couple of examples. I'm not going to use the magic word of AI, but we're contemplating that for sure as part of what we're doing.
Yep.
But for example, if you book online. So we call this in-path precision retailing. So basically, we know if you're logged in. Obviously, this is only works if you're logged in. If you're logged in as a member, we know your past history. We also know how many miles you have, all of that information around your profile, and you're trying to you're searching a certain destination, and we're giving you a list of flights, but we know certain flights have a lighter load factor, for example, than others, that we have an opportunity possibly to give you an upgrade during that shopping experience. Then we will put a specific offer for you to buy a certain fare in a certain cabin and get instant upgrade or discounted instant upgrade while you're shopping. This helps convert the member in that shopping session.
And this is dynamic, right?
And this is totally dynamic. It comes in the form of either upgrades, bonus miles, or
special
fare, which is a special Cash+Miles actually, which can use as a discount on your fare, and it's personalized to you. In that session, it may be that if you come again, you may not get the same offer. Again, it also depends on the flight loads and all of that, etc. But that's something that is of value to the member. And we're using the data to just provide these offers to our members and convert them. Skywards members online convert 4 times more than non-Skywards members. Again, telling you the value of loyalty, the value of being a Skywards member in some way for the airline itself. Today, the Skywards member contribute 50% of the total revenue, passenger revenue.
Really?
And 66% of the total online revenue. Again, the power of Skywards. And their yield is 60% higher than your non-members.
Okay.
Hence, the value for the airline as well of having people enroll in the loyalty program as well. So personalization, as I mentioned, this is one example where it's, again, about dynamic offers, but there's other examples as well. As I mentioned, the statements that are done on a monthly basis capture a lot of that data, including your partner data, and come back to you with a specific statement. And I mentioned, since we started this personalization, the click-through and the open rate has increased by 3-fold.
Nejib, you talked there about dynamic pricing, but tell me, dynamic pricing also makes it impossible to predict how many miles are needed for a flight. Are you doing this any differently? How do you reward true loyalty? One gripe from customers is, I don't know how many miles are required for this particular flight upgrade. That changes all the time. Is that a fair criticism?
Actually, we haven't changed the number of miles required for an upgrade or the number of miles required for a classic reward ticket. Actually, for about 10 years, we haven't touched it. We've just done some fine tuning lately, both actually reducing the number of miles for economy and increasing it for some of the premium cabins. Again, this is mostly driven by what we're doing from a commercial standpoint as well. So. We don't do that. I mean, you're basically, as a member, X number of flights will get you one flight, one free flight, if you will, quote unquote, using your miles as well. So that doesn't change. The dynamic component comes in the offers on specific flights, specific days, etc. So that's the dynamic component.
Okay.
But the rest is established and we actually make sure we don't change it very often so that members know.
So it's predictable, is what you're saying.
It's extremely predictable.
And Najib, am I allowed to buy Skywards miles from you if I don't if I'm short of miles?
This is a very interesting point, and actually go back to personalization. This is the first use of AI for us in terms of dynamic pricing for the purchase of miles. Miles retailing, as we call it, which usually people use it to top up their miles balance so that they can get access to an upgrade or etc. That's a very interesting case for us to use AI for dynamic pricing. We do offers on a monthly basis. The offers are extremely targeted to certain members, certain profiles, and allows us also, again, to have higher conversion for miles retailing. Yes, you can purchase the miles, and yes, there is a level of dynamic pricing that happens there.
So answer this question for me, which is a question a lot of people ask. It's a puzzle. If I bought economy class ticket and used my Skywards miles to upgrade to business class, versus, so that's option A, versus I bought a business class ticket straight away, am I better off with option A or option B? Or doesn't matter? Does that change with time or destination?
No, I mean, yield management is about also, opening certain fare brands, etc., whether it's business, etc. And we don't have access to the same inventory when you're buying economy and upgrading to business versus buying directly business. Of course, if you're buying a commercial business ticket, you have more inventory available to you than when you're buying economy and upgrading to business. Now, even when you're buying economy, there are two cases. You're buying Flex or Flex Plus ticket, therefore allowing you to upgrade at any point of time. You're buying a Saver ticket, you can only upgrade 48 hours before.
Also, miles required are more for a Saver ticket.
Exactly. And actually, that's incentivizing people to buy more of the Flex, etc. So that comes with that. So there is economics around all of this and how these miles are computed, again, for us to ensure that from a commercial standpoint, we're actually, there's a level of integrity as well, and that revenue optimization, our colleagues there, doesn't see us as cannibalizing what they're doing on the commercial side of things. Let me just also, reiterate the fact that upgrades are, and we're probably one of the few airlines that does this, is upgrades are available until day of departure, at check-in, or even on board.
Yeah, even on board, yes.
So I advise people to just have enough miles ready in case they want to upgrade their experience. And I have to say, because the flight loads are getting higher and higher, and you probably as a traveling,
so less opportunities to upgrade on board.
Less opportunities to upgrade up front, but there is always an opportunity to upgrade. Number of upgrades have grown by 17% year over year. So which means there are upgrades. I mentioned we do one upgrade a minute, and 40% of the miles are used for upgrades. Okay. Let me just also say something. Skywards members get also priority when it comes to what we call involuntary upgrades.
Yeah.
And a lot of them also, buy upgrades through cash.
So we always wait for the involuntary upgrade, right?
You shouldn't, because I think if you have the miles and there is availability, you should go with you should secure the upgrades, because again, there's a status levels that, in terms of how it works, etc. But, you'd rather just use your miles. But I'm just saying, because there's this perception there are not enough upgrades. Skywards members have received 1 million upgrades last year in the last 12 months.
These are paid upgrades with miles.
These are upgrades with miles, Envol, and cash upgrades.
Got
In
it.
total,
In
1
total,
million
upgrades.
went to Skywards members. Just if you're talking just about the miles upgrade, I've mentioned the figure of 1 upgrade a minute. So yeah.
But tell me, am I better off securing my upgrade from before, let's say 2 weeks or 1 month before the flight, or should I take a chance for an upgrade at check-in or on board because I might spend less miles? Is that correct? I'll spend less miles if I do it last minute?
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
It's a fixed number.
So there's
of
no
miles, but
arbitrage of doing it last minute?
No. I think your best bet is to buy your Flex Plus ticket and to be able to. There's an auto upgrade facility where you could just actually request the upgrade, etc. So if there is availability, you'll get upgraded. If you're, as I said, buying online in our direct channel, you may be able even to get a discount on upgrades. So this is what you should be doing. But again, there's upgrades is the most emotional. So when it works, you get loyalty multiplied by 3. It's actually what I call accelerates the flywheel of loyalty. People get upgraded. Of course, that's the best reward you can get, or at least how it's perceived by our members. And then you get to earn again and again. If you don't get the upgrade, you get upset. And you get the hard questions that I get when I go on business breakfast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Interesting conversation, Nejib. And this is a very good time for a short commercial break. I would urge you to support my sponsors who not only support this podcast, but also fund the free gift cards that help power global giving. Dr. Nejib, our guest today, has chosen to direct his $1,000 gift card to Dubai Cares. Great choice, Nejib, and thank you very much. And to you, our listener, visit www.moneymajlis.com right now to claim your free $50 gift card and donate to a cause that matters to you.
The financial world is changing fast. Institutions need to meet the growing client demand for crypto financial services, but they need a battle-tested platform to build upon.
AquaNow is a leading crypto financial services platform, powering incumbent institutions to launch crypto brokerage, payments, and remittance services for their clients, securely and at scale.
Be part of the transformation. Visit aquanow.com today.
The end touches your life.
In more ways than you can imagine.
You want more tech,
More speed.
more convenience,
more entertainment.
more business solutions,
EAN gives you all that.
and so much more.
EAN. Go for more.
Parents teach their children to talk, to walk, to ride, to read. So why not teach them about managing their money? Introducing the all-new Live Light app, designed to teach 8 to 18-year-olds good money habits. A free and totally secure app designed for them that's always under your control. Top up their cards, set limits, assign tasks, and reward them with allowances. Download the LiveX app to open a Live Light account in minutes, and the first 50 dirham allowance is on us. Visit live.me today. Live Digital Bank by Emirates NBD. Trust and innovation combined. T's and C's apply.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Intellect Design Arena. Intellect drives digital adoption in banking and insurance. Leverage emac.ai, the most comprehensive, composable, and intelligent open finance platform for banking and insurance transformation. Intellect Design Arena.
The end touches your life.
In more ways than you can imagine.
You want more tech,
More speed.
More convenience,
more entertainment.
more business solutions,
EAN gives you all that.
and so much more.
EAN. Go for more.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Network International, the Middle East, and Africa's digital payments champion. We make business happen and economies prosper by simplifying commerce and payments. Trusted by over 250 banks, fintechs and telcos, and 130,000 merchants in over 50 countries. Bringing you tomorrow's payment solutions today.
We are back on Money Majlis, speaking with Dr. Nejib Ben-Khedher, head of Emirates Skywards, on the future of loyalty, finance, and purpose. Let me turn, Nejib, now on the valuation of loyalty. It surprised a lot of people when American Airlines revealed that its loyalty program, AAdvantage, was valued at $20 billion, even more than the airline itself. Now, for those outside the travel space, this might sound wild, right? Loyalty programs are perceived as massive profit centers, sometimes more valuable than the airline itself. Now, we don't have a valuation for Emirates Airlines, so we can't really compare what Skywards' value is compared to Emirates Airlines itself. But my question to you, Nejib, is how much of the program exists to serve the customer versus the profit or the valuation goal?
You know, I'm very respectful of what other airlines do and how they position themselves. And I can see that in the US, in particular, I think the credit card relationships have helped a lot with these valuations. Also think of loyalty programs as being platforms that connect millions of members to thousands of partners, and basically, you know, underpinned by a currency, the miles or the points that you're providing these members. So it resembles a lot what, you know, a fintech platform would be. Mm-hmm. And this is also what the valuation is much higher than, you know, the airlines, which are usually in this case for some of these programs single digit when their loyalty program are double digit.
Yep.
We are not in that case. Well, first of all, we wouldn't exist without the airlines. Mm-hmm. So it's not a matter. I think for us, what brings people to the program, and I mentioned it earlier, is the fact that we're part of an airline that has a very strong brand and that delivers, a great experience to the flying or the traveling public. So we shouldn't forget that that's why we exist. We also exist to drive loyalty back to the airlines. So even if I talk about creating a partnership ecosystem, the intent for me is not to make the margins or the money out of it, is to actually find a way to create stickiness, especially with the infrequent travelers, to bring them back to the airline. And hence, when I talk about, you know, contributing, our members contributing 50% of the revenue, of the commercial revenue, and 60% of the online revenue, it's all about that. These are the metrics that we watch, is how do we create stickiness? How do we bring people to fly on Emirates and fly Dubai? So yes, I mean, the valuations are out there, but as I said, our choice is from a Skywards perspective, and this is why we were called at some point in one of the blogs as the old-fashioned loyalty program, is the fact that we care about the loyalty. And if we make any margins from our partners, is to bring them back to the airline in some way, and to our members in particular. Mm-hmm. I mentioned that 50% of the earn is outside the air.
Correct.
95% of the burn is on air.
Okay.
So without that, we wouldn't create the attractiveness for partners and for members as well to join the program. Mm-hmm. Is the fact that we have access to that inventory. Now, that inventory is, you can think of it also as that the program has to pay for in some way. So our job is to make sure we have the money coming in also from flowing from partners, that we can get our members those opportunities to upgrade, opportunities to fly on a classic reward or to use their miles as Cash+Miles. So, you know, to answer your questions, we have taken a different directions, call it old-fashioned, but our focus is on members.
But come on, you must have been tempted at some time, Nejib, to do a valuation of what Skywards stands for. Is that something you've done internally? Is there something you can tell us about?
We have a shadow P&L, and we ensure that we're actually, at the end of the day, we're not a cost center anymore.
We're a profit center.
We're a profit center, or I mean, I'm not going to say we're a non-profit business. We are a profit center, but that's not what we obsess about. We make sure that we're not costing the airline because we've also gone into other things. We curate a lot of experiences for members outside flying.
Yeah.
And these are available through Skywards Exclusive, but also we provide them as a courtesy to some of our premium members. So all of this has a cost of some kind, and we make sure that we're not a burden to the airline, but we're driving loyalty, and on top of it, we're not a burden from a cost perspective. So we moved away from being a cost center and being a profit center, but not obsessing about simply making those high margins and profits.
So no valuation yet?
No valuation. I mean, the airline has not been valuated, and Skywards is an integral part of the airline. Didn't get a valuation per se. There are people who actually we got valuated in some of the reports at $3 billion as a business, but there's probably techniques to.
So there is a benchmark there.
There's a benchmark, I think, and again, there's some publications that evaluate programs based on member base, partnerships, etc.
And you have 35 million members, so that's a very large number compared to
we have 35
many
million members, and we have thousands of partners,
correct,
by the way,
correct.
around the
So
world.
that is one of the biggest in the world, right?
We are the largest international airline loyalty program outside the US and China.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But again, we have the largest hub in the world with DXB.
Correct.
More than 90 million passengers, and Emirates is the largest international airline. So we're basically, at par with what some of our stakeholders offer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And talking about profit versus non-profit, we were talking earlier about how you convert some of your miles to giving for good, to charities and stuff.
Absolutely.
Tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah. So we support the Emirates Airline Foundation, where miles can be donated by members, and we're very grateful to our members for doing so. And that helps us fly, doctors and nurses to some of these locations where we have charity work that is provided through the Emirates Airline Foundation in support of those local charities.
And are you seeing a lot of members contributing to these causes?
Yes, absolutely. This is actually a great way for people to engage with the program. Stay tuned for more to come around this area, whereby we want to offer our members more and more opportunities for them to contribute to charity.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Now, you talked earlier about how your competition is not just airline loyalty programs, but any loyalty program. Now there are programs like Avios, Flying Blue, and retail giants like Amazon Prime. They all have some kind of customer loyalty programs. They're all competing for customer loyalty. In this mix, how do you keep Skywards competitive? Are there features or strategies that you're either copying from other loyalty programs or being inspired by other programs? How do you stay ahead of the game of loyalty?
See, the key is not to copy. Maybe to our playbook has been copied in some way, but we also got inspired by looking at what other programs have done, and we see in our context what works, what doesn't work. We're also extremely innovative. I mean, we were the first in the travel industry to put a subscription program, for example, with Skywards Plus.
Okay,
you could say we've copied Amazon Prime, but the idea. We got the idea also from looking at these subscription programs as well outside the airline industry.
Is that live now?
Yes, Skywards Plus is live, and actually it's interesting that it's mostly our premium members that engage with Skywards Plus, because what it does, I mean, there are three packages, and the premium package allows you to accelerate your tier mile earning when you're flying. You've got 20% bonus on those tier miles, and for members who want to retain their tier or actually get to the highest tier, this is the best way to do it. And so we have our silver and gold and platinum members who engage a lot with the subscription program. But we also offer something for the blue members. It gives you a taste of what loyalty and status will give you, because it gives you access to a number of access to lounge, some baggage allowance, etc. So it gives you a taste of loyalty or of status as well. So we have these two, and then we have we've launched this not very far. We're trying to fine tune it. We have more than 12,000 members now who have subscribed to the program as well.
So just to clarify, is it available to everybody now? I can go in and log in?
Yes, it is available online.
Membership fee.
Yeah, membership fee. The premium package is at $999.
Yep.
And the lowest package that caters mostly to Blue is at $399. And there's one in between. So we, as I said, we've learned from others and we've implemented here, and we create again more stickiness and more engagement through something like Skywards Plus. Skywards Exclusives is something that, even though the platform has existed for a little while and it's a third-party platform that we're leveraging, it's more about the content. We bring our own content.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, what we leverage the partnerships and the sponsorships that we have. So whether it's on sponsorship on sports, for example, so you see us providing access, VIP access to certain stadiums, certain games in football, NBA now lately, cricket, tennis as well. So sponsorships, but also partners that we have. For example, Moet Chandon, the champagne that we offer on board.
Yep.
Dilmati, the tea that we offer on board as well. Interesting enough, we curated an experience with Dilmati in a plantation in Sri Lanka.
Really?
For 5 couples. It's a 3-day. So we all talk a lot about wine tasting. This is actually tea tasting and tea pairing. With master classes in tea, visiting the plantation, spending really.
And what, do you win these packages or you apply for them?
You can bid your miles for these packages.
Okay,
The couple, I mean, most of the couples have bid around 500,000 miles to get to this exclusive experience, because you won't find it. This is not sold anywhere. This is something we curate with our
interesting.
And then the champagne one was just 2 weeks ago in the north of France as well, in the Champagne region. We do a lot of these curated experiences, but we have a platform, Skywards Exclusive, where you can bid your miles, and in some cases there's a fixed number of miles that you can use. And the latest is actually our partnership with Coca-Cola Arena, which will give you access to the VIP suite that we have at the Coca-Cola Arena for any of the upcoming shows. There are hundreds of shows that are in plan for the coming months. We've started this just as of late, and then you can go to Skywards Exclusives and look at.
So, what do you bid your miles for this, or you just buy them?
So this one is buying through miles.
Okay.
It's miles as a currency.
Correct.
In some events that would be extremely popular, we will have a bidding mechanism for people, so that we allow everyone to get in. It's first come, first served. Otherwise, it's actually it curates to 11 couples, and we will have catering as well in this VIP location. And again, you can expect the Emirates experience as well to carry on with in the Coca-Cola Arena. So we're doing a lot. When we talk about how do we differentiate ourselves, we actually learn from what others are doing, but at the same time innovate ourselves as well as possible.
You're widening the choice every day.
Exactly. I mean, our relationship with Union Co-op here as well, where grocery shopping can turn to miles. What we've done with Emirates in the fuel stations as well. So we're trying to give people more opportunities to earn, more opportunities to burn as well, especially on the everyday. But I'll have to say, one of the things we make sure we focus on is again simplicity. So Skywards Every Day, the card linking technology that we've used allow you to seamlessly earn, and we wanna make that simplicity, especially when it comes to the digital channels, so that people can interact with us without having frictions in the middle.
So Najib, based in Dubai, Emirates Skywards is at the crossroads of global travel. How does Dubai's unique position influence your strategy and your partnerships?
No, Dubai has a global appeal, and we think of ourselves somewhat of creating, a loyalty currency that rewards both residents and visitors to Dubai. So we also have a global appeal as well as a program, but we've also created a local ecosystem as well. I mentioned Skywards Every Day with more than 400 brands, Skywards Mall for e-commerce, Coca-Cola Arena, with whom we have a reward partnership as well. Emirates fuel stations, Union Co-op, of course, Emirates and Fly Dubai as travel, as the airlines or anchor airlines. So all of this creates an ecosystem for Dubai, again, whereby people can earn and redeem miles on some of these partners. So again, rewarding visitors and residents as well. And sometimes joke and say we are the Dubai happiness currency in some way, and the Dubai's focus on happiness as well. So again,
or the Dubai super app in the future, right? Skywards could be the super app for everything in Dubai.
Or can offer the currency, the loyalty currency that has, again, a global appeal as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the trick, is that we have a lot of loyalty programs. And again, I'm very respectful of what they do. And they've come a long way in the past few years. But we're the only ones who truly offer that global currency that is, the what you earn as a visitor here and in Dubai, you can use somewhere else, and vice versa.
In the US
as well.
or UK or whatever.
Exactly,
else.
on what you can earn in the US, you can use here as well. There's an interesting fact that we have in the program. We work with a lot of what we call tip-in partners or conversion partners in the US. I mean, we're in the US we actually work with all the big banks in the US or big credit cards in the US. So Amex, Chase, Capital One, HSBC, and others. 40% of the miles that are converted are actually used for people to fly for the first time to Dubai.
Really?
So first-time visitors.
Okay.
That's 7 billion miles.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than 77,000 trips made to Dubai last year in the last 12 months using miles to come and visit the city.
So
for the
enabling
first time.
tourism into Dubai.
Yeah. So we're supporting. Well, actually, by the way, we work very closely with Isam and his team in Dubai Tourism as well. So we're, again, trying to create an ecosystem here that you can think of as a Dubai loyalty ecosystem, if you will.
Excellent. You talked about digital there, Nejib. You are an ex-CTO of Emirates Group and you're a technology background. How much of that technology background has helped you to craft Skywards the way it is today?
It helped me massively in terms of a recent implementation that we have done.
Mm-hmm.
So the CTO Ali and myself worked together into a massive implementation because we're moving 35 million profiles of members into a new system. So we're basically changing the platform on which the loyalty program operates right now.
Okay.
We're moving to a new platform. And that was a massive undertaking on its own. Just to give you an idea, the command center had 220 people for 3 days working on this cut over.
So this is done now? No hitches?
This is done. No glitches, no disruption.
Okay.
Done on just immediately after Eid break. So it was on 9th of June and 10th of June. Mm-hmm. You haven't heard anything. We communicated to members actually a lot.
Okay.
So communication was key. But above and beyond members, we had to communicate with thousands of staff as well, because all the frontline. So Skywards sits in the back, if you will. We're not the ones who actually interact with the members. The service and the experience is delivered by our colleagues and the front lines and the check-in, on the lounges, on board, etc. We had to equip them with all the information so that their job doesn't get disrupted.
Correct.
Let's see, my experience on the technology side and on managing a number of implementations of this size before has helped obviously into making this one as seamless as possible. The choice of technology as well. My focus on the digital engagement as well also comes from, of course, my technology background. I mentioned the example of precision retailing. That comes from my days at Travelocity when I was in the US managing one of the largest online travel agencies, but also because I was also into the technology in terms of how we can embed this in the shopping experience without creating any delays or frictions during that experience, because it's all about conversion when it comes online. So, so definitely, it comes handy. My operations research degree, everything we've done around data science also helps me with what I do today. So I usually say I'm a loyalty imposter because I came to it from a technology and a data background. But earlier on you said we're at the intersection of digital, customer, and data, if you will. And of course my background and helped with that. And I've been in the transformation business for all my life. So I said probably now after 10 years, I have graduated from being an imposter into being somewhat of an expert.
But degrees do help, that shows.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Now, let me move to something very relevant to the audience, which is value comparison, right?
Yeah.
let me talk about a frequent gripe I hear from many friends and colleagues and people in general, that the redemption value of the beloved Skywards program has been dropping over the years. Now, one example, I just looked online, NerdWallet values Emirates Skywards miles at 0.6 cents per mile for economy redemptions, compared to British Airways Avios at 1.2 cents. How do you respond to critiques about Skywards redemption value? And are there any plans to enhance this for everyday members?
So you mentioned a number which I'm not totally familiar with, but I would just tell you that the average redemption, and I know it because this is how our books work and how miles get into our books, etc., is 2.5 times that, at least.
Really?
At least.
Okay.
And actually, I'm not going to go into specific numbers, but I've asked the public to just look at what an upgrade would cost. So just take your business class and then you take a cash upgrade, or take your business class and see the difference and see the miles that are used, and tell me exactly if 0.6 cents is truly what you're paying for an upgrade, or is it more like 3 or 4 cents or 5 cents. So I'm just we can compare left and right. I mean, the other piece is, again, and I want to stay humble here and just not try to compare ourselves and say, but the experience of an upgrade on Emirates, from an economy to a business, or from a business to first, has also some emotional value in some way put on top of the dollar value itself. This is not the experience that you have on your average airline, right? Like, so you've got to look into that. As I mentioned, upgrades is truly our highest valued redemption by member from an emotional standpoint, but also from a number perspective, it is what it is. The minimum you get on a flight for a Skywards member, and this is to the 0.6 from NerdWallet, is 0.78 cents. So that's your Cash+Miles redemption basic. Most of our campaigns are at 1 cent, 2 cents for a flight for a business or first class. Just check some of the campaigns we have right now for the new destination on Guangzhou that we're launching, for example, in China. The campaign is at 1 cent for economy and 2 cents for first and J. But your basic rate is 0.78 cents. That is the minimum. Of course, we have redemption rates on things like on Dubai duty free or others that may be a little lower, because we want to drive people more to the airline when it comes to redemption. But just gives you an idea. So 0.6 is way below where we are.
No, I stand corrected.
And I'm not going to be defensive around it. No. At the end, it's what the member perceives that matters most.
No, this is research from Perplexity Pro, and maybe the research was wrong. But my question to you still remains, has the value of points dropped over the years, or is it same? Is the value in cents for a Skywards mile same as it was 10 years back, 5 years back, 2 years back, or is it different?
It has actually increased in certain places. So Cash+Miles, for example, was at 0.5 cents. 2 years ago. It's at 0.78 now.
Okay,
and
that's
you can
a
just
increase.
Historically. Classic rewards on economy have gone down by 30%, the number of miles. That tells you that actually the value has gone up by so much. These are examples. Of course, as I said, we adjust based on the commercial fare, etc., because the fares have gone up as well. So we adjust the number of miles that we do it. And we actually are very, very very conservative when it comes to that, and as I said, we haven't made too many changes and devalued the program as we go. So, I mean, again, it's we look at ensuring that we do things in a reasonable way for us to stay in sync with what we do on the commercial side of things, so that we can have access to inventory and provide that back to our members. So. We can argue forever, as I said. At the end, the customer has a choice, and then we respect their choice. But there's a lot of it is perception, both on the good side and the bad side.
No, thank you for the clarification. It's very, very useful. So, Najib, moving to more positive territory, Skywards introduced several industry-first concepts, right? Cash+Miles was one example. Your lifestyle partnerships, another example. What innovation are you most proud of personally? And what's next on your roadmap for Skywards, if you can tell us that?
Yeah, I mentioned few as we were talking, and if you allow me, I'll enumerate them again. But Skywards Plus subscription for our premium members, extremely attractive.
Yeah.
Cash+Miles as a way to democratize burn for our members.
Yep.
Skywards Every Day as a platform that is not only easy for the members to use, but easy for the partners to onboard partners. Where basically, usually it takes us up to 6 months to onboard the new partners. On Skywards Every Day, it takes us just a few days to do so. So we can put more members on that platform. Skywards Exclusives when it comes to curated experiences, the precision retailing or in-path offers that we've done, dynamic offers as well. We continue to challenge ourselves and find ways for us to engage with our members more frequently. By the way, we mentioned the 35 million members base. Our focus is on engagement. And the creation of these ecosystems of partners and etc. is mostly around engagement. And engagement for us, well, two things. One is engagement as in, we want people to earn on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
But engagement also in terms of getting people closer to reward as soon as possible, because we know when you get that reward, that redemption, and 95% of it is on flights,
Yep.
is when you get your loyalty, flywheel turning faster. So how do we make that turn faster and faster is truly what we focus on. What's next for Skywards is, again, this whole personalization game, and how do we be able to enrich our data and be able to use it in the best way possible to serve our members.
And will AI play a big role in that?
AI will absolutely play a big role. What we've mentioned in terms of in-path precision retailing, these are the dynamic offers. It's an excellent use case for AI eventually for us, so we can learn from every interaction with the members and be able to adapt for the next time around when people are coming and visiting the website, for example. But there are other uses of AI. Right now we're looking at actually using AI more in a business support function, whereby because the program is richer and richer, our front lines need to be equipped by tools to be able to answer queries from members that are coming to them as well. So how do we support our retail contact center? How do we support our agents at check-in to provide them with the information around the program and make it easier for them to answer queries from members? That's where AI can play a big role in terms of looking at the documents, the information that we're providing it, and providing an easy answer for at the fingertips of the agents that are interacting with the customer.
Now, Nejib, with 35 million members, you must have customer complaints every day that come up to you, right? I've handled a large bank, and I know how difficult that can be. What are the most common customer complaints you see typically?
Yeah, I mean, the complaints that you get are mostly, if you talk about the Skywards program itself, it's access to rewards in some way. It was, again, perception that, people are not getting enough access. And as I said, we take it seriously, and we continue to work with our revenue optimization colleagues to make that happen, but also diversifying the rewards beyond the airline itself, because we're still very, very airline centric when it comes to rewards. You will see us in the next few months, few years, diversify that as well. For example, we're working on major partnerships in Europe, for example, for our member base in Europe, so that we can allow them to use other modes of transportation using their miles, earn and burn as well. We will look at redemption on Skywards Every Day. Today it's just an earn mechanism. Tomorrow it will be a burn mechanism as well. Similar to what we've done with Dubai Duty Free, whereby you can use it, or on Skywards Miles Mall, where you can use your miles for other redemption. We've just implemented with Accor All and with Marriott, for example, conversion of currency between the two, so that we just allow that those redemptions to happen as well. So
I'm sure you're looking at seeing more redemptions of airline, right? On other partners, correct?
Yes, and
at the
that
moment it's
too.
5%. You want to increase that to 10, 15, 20%.
Yes, exactly. So we wanna have more on airline partners, on travel partners, on redemptions, etc., so that we can make rewards a bit more richer than just focusing on the airline itself. Again, the most aspirational experience continues to be on Emirates, but we wanna create, like we've done on the earn side, create more opportunities also on the burn side as well.
Najib, if you were building a loyalty program today for an airline or for a digital bank or a fintech, starting from scratch, what would your top priorities be? Would you focus more on the rewards engine, the technology stack, or perhaps a partner strategy?
All of the above, but I'll start with the technical part because I've gone through an open heart surgery, as I mentioned just a few days ago.
Yeah.
I think having the right technology stack is very important, and that's on both the backbone, which is what you call the reward engine or the earn engine, etc., or the profile management piece, etc. That's important, but also the customer facing, as I mentioned, in terms of your app, especially with the new generation being mobile first and digital native, we'll have to do a better experience when it comes to that as well.
Yeah.
So that is for me extremely important in terms of having the fundamentals to enable the program to prosper as well. And by the way, onboarding of partners as well. If you have the right technology, you can onboard partners much more easily than we have today. It takes me, as I mentioned, 6 to 9 months to onboard any partners simply because of the tech.
Correct.
I mean, that's the contractual part, etc. But the tech part just requires that amount of time. I need to be able to onboard partners, and we have a pipeline that are very interesting for us to go work with, that I would like to be able to activate very quickly. So the technology is extremely important, both, as I said, the backbone and the customer-facing one. The second part is harnessing data and understanding data. And that is actually two components to it. One is how do you capture data? And this is, again, technology at best as well. And we have very rich data, as I mentioned. But we don't know, we're not capable of leveraging it in the most effective way today because our systems are insiders in some way. So how do you stitch all that data and bring it to have a customer data platform that has this rich data that then you can use for insights, both in a very dynamic way, in a real-time way, extremely important, but also have technical capabilities within your own organization from a people capability perspective as well. So, technology, harnessing data and understanding it. And I think the third part, other than the strategy itself, right, around partnerships, etc., which the third part for me is this P&L transparency in some way. You still have parts of the organization that think of rewards as a freebie. And you're trying to really ensure that you have access to these rewards, etc., and whereby people see value in terms of what you're doing and what you're bringing above and beyond, your commercial contribution, etc. So that transparency, which we have worked very hard on right now with our finance colleagues, is very important for us for the program to continue and then to remove any frictions internally as well.
That's how you become a profit center now.
Yeah, a profit center, or at least not a cost center. Yes, exactly. How do you work that so that it's clean, etc.? So, these are three enablers. So I'm not talking about everything you need to do from a member perspective, etc. Those, I think, if you have these enablers, it allows you to have a certain agility in the way you do things. It allows you to introduce innovation that are member-centric and etc. Much easier than if you didn't have those enablers. So for me, those enablers are important because I've walked into a program, I started the transformation, and I think the technology worked against me, and then the internal sometimes frictions works against me, etc. And how do you clear that up so that you can innovate and you can continue to progress is very important.
Very well said, Nejib. Now, Nejib, you worked across consulting, technology, and you now lead a massive loyalty business in a very high-pressure industry across different time zones, if I may add. When you look back, are there any leadership lessons or personal principles that have stayed with you no matter what the role or the challenge?
Yeah. So very good question, and I say I've never stayed in a job this long. By the way, 10 years, which is actually brings something different for me than my jobs before. So I've always been in a transformation position, even though when working with Sabre, Travelocity, or American, it has always been around transformation. And transformation for me is, you take a business and you take it to a next level. Yeah. A couple of examples were turnarounds, not transformations, where I had to go and clean up a business in some way. But it's all have the same flavor, if you will. And usually I stay about 3 to 5 years, to take it to a next level and then move on to the next one. And not one job was similar to the next one as well. So I've been an imposter all my life in some way, called the transformation agent or a transformation leader.
Yeah.
But the ingredients have always been the same, believe it or not. Clarity of vision. So from the beginning, have clarity around. Well, first of all, by the way, you walk into. You have to respect the people who have been there first, because they have built something, and you need to build on top of it. This is absolutely the case at Skywards. My predecessor Brian has done a phenomenal job building a program, and I just came in to take it to the next level. In a different context.
That's Brad LaBelle, right?
Yeah, Brian, yes, absolutely. So he was truly the master who have created this, and some of the people who have continued to work with me today. So come in, listen, but then, you bring also your own expertise in certain areas. And mine was not in loyalty, it was more in the data and technology side of things, and customer engagement as well. I mean, again, so clarity of vision, and then you draft a vision that is clear for everybody to understand, and with that vision, probably a roadmap as well into how to deliver to that ambition as well. So clarity, that's extremely important. I think the second thing is instilling the right culture and values within the organization as well. So we all speak the same language. We built a DNA. And everybody knows what that culture stands for. So if you go to Skywards today, everybody will speak the same language, and everybody knows where we're going and how we're doing it as well. I think the third thing is building the right team and bringing the right people in and the right capabilities as well. So the organization and the people and the capabilities that are going to be supporting that vision and taking it forward. When I look back at anything that I have done, truly the performance has faded away in some way. These are numbers, KPIs, etc. What stayed are, and my legacy behind, and I'm close to retirement, so I can talk about legacy, is truly the people that you have groomed, the teams you have built, the leaders you have developed, where they are today in their career. And that doesn't go away. That stays, whatever happens. The KPIs, etc., and the performance metrics are there. You have broken records here, that. Yeah. That all fades away in some way. What stays is the people component of it. So building that team, grooming it, developing talent is that third component. So culture, vision, clarity of vision, with underpinned by a good, clear roadmap as well. The culture that needs to be created, and that's the cohesion within the team and the glue, and then building the right teams, the right capabilities, and and attracting the right talent and developing the talent as well.
Amazing vision, purpose, and people.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well said. Now I think that brings us pretty much to all that I want to discuss with you, Nejib. But before I let you go, I have a rapid fire round of questions which I cannot not do with you. You have to answer in the first few seconds, in a few words, the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. So no overthinking, no deep thinking, just instant answer that comes to your mind, okay? Shall we start?
By the way, excellent engaging conversation. Thanks, Suvo, for this.
Thank you, Najib.
But now I'm tired, so I don't know if I can do this.
Which is why I got you at the end. Okay, let's start here. Well, simple question. You don't have to think too much about any of these. Which airline loyalty program, apart from Skywards, do you admire most and why?
Qantas. They inspired me a lot into what I've done around lifestyle, and what they've done in Australia is just amazing.
Okay. What's the most underrated feature of Skywards?
Skywards Plus, I would just say.
Okay, that's a new one, which people don't know about
exactly,
yet.
Subscription program.
I'll go sign up today itself. What do you personally prefer, window seat or aisle seat?
The A380 lounge.
Okay. Same here, actually. most memorable customer story from your time at Skywards? Can you think of one story on Skywards that you inspired?
It's actually the feedback from what I've called, what I talked about, the experiences, like the Dilmati experience, or the one that we've got with Moët Chandon, the Champagne region.
So I must bid for one of those very soon.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing you wish all loyalty programs would stop doing?
Obsess about making money. And getting to be much more customer-centric. And that's what they were born to start with.
You have excellent partners for Skywards. If you could add one dream partner to Skywards, what would that be?
Don't want to be facetious about this, but for me, the best partners that a lot of my partners dream about is Emirates. So for me, partnering with Emirates is actually the best part.
What is your go-to travel hack? I'm sure you travel a lot. A travel hack that you can share with my listeners, what would that be?
I'm an online shopper, and I usually shop on the airline websites.
Okay. Is that a good value?
Yeah.
Complete the sentence, Nejib. Loyalty in 2030 will be?
Hyper-personalized.
Excellent. Thank you, Nejib. Thank you so much for joining us today on Money Majlis. I know your schedule runs on global time zones. I truly appreciate you making the space for this conversation. I mean, we discussed a lot, from unpacking the evolution of Skywards to exploring the future of Emirates loyalty. You've given us a rare look into how scale, simplicity, and I would say emotional engagement can coexist in loyalty design. So thank you for that. I'm confident thousands of listeners will come away with ideas that resonate across industries and borders, and also about how to encash their miles in the best possible way.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing for the listeners.
Money Majlis is proudly supported by Aqua Now, the premier crypto as a service provider, now building in partnership with the top financial institutions in the Middle East. Discover more at aquanow.com.
Money Majlis is brought to you by E&, a global technology group.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Intellect Design Arena, driving digital adoption in banking and insurance.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Live Digital Bank, powered by Emirates NBD. Trust and innovation combined.
Money Majlis is brought to you by Network International, the leading digital payments technology company in the Middle East and Africa.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. At Money Majlis, we are building conversations that challenge convention and drive meaningful reflection. Through our social impact initiative, today's episode also supports a cause close to Nejib's heart, which is Dubai Cares. Since 2007, Dubai Cares has been working towards providing children and youth in developing countries with access to quality education. To date, it has launched education programs reaching over 116 million individuals in 60 developing countries. If you would like to be one of the 50 listeners selected to give to Dubai Cares, visit moneymajlis.com to learn more and get your free gift card. Money Majlis is conceived and scripted by me. The show is produced by Sabeen Achkar at Podster and is made possible thanks to our partners at Aqua Now, Emirates NBD Live, E&, Intellect Design Arena, and Network International. My research partner is Oja Sekri and Perplexity Pro, and our giving partner is Good World. If you found this episode insightful, pass it along to a friend or colleague, leave us a review, and subscribe for more conversations at the intersection of capital, innovation, and impact. And don't forget to visit moneymajlis.com. Until next time, goodbye and ma salama. Stay well, travel well, and do good.